why we need network. A network is a communication of two devices, like how we will be having in human body the nerves connected. The flow will be transferred from head to tail and to feet. And a network is a collection of computer and services, and it may be connected between two devices that we call it as a network. It may be the devices, the computers, or servers, or mainframes, or peripherals like this. It is a one type of service from connecting from one device to another device. It may be the TCP or IP or anything. The communication between two devices, we call it as a network. It may be the large or small. If it is connected between two devices, then we call it as a small internet. Then it is connected to more than devices or few devices. It is connected as internet. It is connected from all over the world, from one place to another place. When we communicate, this we call it as a internet. The networking word is more popular on 1992. Here, every device will be having one network address, which we call it as a IP address. And similarly, we will be having one MAC. MAC will be having for every device, whoever the device having the network connectivity will be having the MAC address and IP address. Through this, the device will be communicated. If you know, we'll be controlling our AC device or any other devices through mobile. It's due to IP address and MAC address. The devices which we are able to communicate is called as network. It may be the different types of devices. It will be desktop computers, or laptops, or mainframes, or servers. If you know the desktop computers, it may be the desktop, like it will be in physical device. It will be fixed at particular area. But laptops, we can move from one area to another area. Once it is connected, we can connect from anywhere. The mainframe servers, which we are using in almost all the major database, it will be having all the coding and what the data we need to communicate. All these mainframe servers are linked to servers. Server may be the any database server or application server, any other. The consoles, if you know the consoles, the gaming consoles, we can connect it from anywhere and we can just connect to internet, or we can access the gamings like Xbox or playstations like this. Thin clients means actually it will be the small unit of CPU unit, and it will be having the rom, and it will be having the internet ports and all the things. We can connect it USB ports, but it will be very transferable, and wherever you are going, you can easily move from one place to another place. It is a portable. And firewalls. When we go for the firewalls, it is having the deny access of particular services. When we are entering anything, it will be having block, or it whether it will be allowed, and the firewalls will be protected our devices with very well. In if you go for enterprises, there majorly the firewalls will the major part to block unnecessary things from outside the network. To when you want to use any outside of network, they'll be having the DMZ networks and bridges. Bridges mostly it will be from one building to another building or one floor to another floor to extend the networks. Repeaters is similar to bridges. It will not be having anything. It is used to extend the network from one area to another area with big and boosting signals. Network interface cards. When you go for network interface cards, every device will be having that network interface cards, which is used to connect our internet. Before going for wireless, with when we want to connect any internet, the network device will be connected to network interface cards. It will be, if you see on TVs, it will be having on back sides if you didn't have any Wi-Fi, or if you need to use any internet connectivity through cable. And for every laptops and every physical desktop devices, the interface cards will be there. If you go for the servers, in servers, you can see lot of interface cards backside. It will be module. You can insert it and you can replace it whenever it is having the damage. And when you go for the switches will be having different types of switches, and it will be having different types of vendors. When you go for in switches, when a 10 devices like 10 desktops or 10 laptops, you need to connect with interface cards. It will be connected to switch will be connected to any firewall will be connected to router. Router is the major part is connected to ISP. If you go for the hubs, it will be having just to transmission like information transmission, not for the communication of any devices. Modems. The modems will be previously used for BSNL networks. They will be connected in every home. From modems, we are able to communicate it. That is TSL communication, like that. Some of the different protocols they are using. And when you go for the routers, it may be the Wi-Fi routers or physical routers. Physical routers will be very big. It will be having different types of vendors. From that, we are able to communicate. It will be connected to the switches. Then, when we go for another type of devices, smartphones and tablets, these are all connected to network with Wi-Fi, or else when you are using the physical SIM. Through this, you are able to connect the networks. And next, the webcams. If you know the webcams, definitely these webs are whatever the having the camera, it will be using the web application. Through this webcam application, we'll be able to use it in every enterprise networks from one area to another area. The teams will be connected and it will be having that communication. Then when we go for network topology is the connectivity the way from one device to another way in which type of we are able to connect it. It may be the mesh topology or ring topology or star topology or tree topology or bus topology and hybrid topology. It will be having different types of topologies we are having it. And if you go for explanation of this mesh topology, then it will be having the multiple cable cities connected from one device to another network. Because if any one or two cable cities connected, the communication will be transferred. But here the redundancy will be there. But we are having the multiple cables. Due to this, costing will be increased. So the budget will be increased for this type of topology, but it will be the safest way to communicate. And when you go for ring topology, this ring topology is having connected in all the way like circular. In this circular, if one of the cable is disconnected, we are able to connect it from one PC to another PC in another way. We'll be having some redundancy, but time consuming will be there, and some of the CRCRs we need to check all these things. We need to check. This is the ring topology. When you go for star topology, most of the house homes it will be connected in star topology. Like from one device to another device, the communication will be transferred. It will be called as intra network. It is not connected to any other internet. It is an intra network where we are using this topology. Tree topology. Tree topology is like communicating from one device to another device. Like one of the group of the device. If we are having one Wi-Fi, from Wi-Fi it is able to connect all the devices. Like these tree topology will be used. And when you go for bus topology, we are having one of the backbone of the cable. From that backbone of the cable, every device it is connected. If anything here it is connected, only the particular device will be affected. Remaining all will be communicated. The most of the areas, the bus topology will be very helpful. When mostly we are using home networks or with tree topology. If you see, if you are having any Wi-Fi here, from this you are able to communicate all the devices. We can having one IP and it will be distributed for all the devices and it will be able to communicate. Mostly in incorporate areas, the star topology will be used. Star topology means this type of topology. Incorporate means like shopping malls or any other areas. They don't need any proper network. Just they need to communicate it from one area to another area. So they are using this. Then, if you go for corporate networks, mostly it will be using the tree topology only because it will be able to communicate. If one of the thing is broken here all the inter networks will be communicated. Except the communication between these two groups will be difficult, but all the internet data will be communicated. And if you want to know one more new thing about networking, means it's the exchanging between the two computers or two devices. Without network, it is unable to communicate from one area to another area, one device to another device. It may be the definitely you need the cabling or else wireless, everything need to be there. When you connect to internet, definitely it is the online services will be possible. If online services is there means wherever from one device to another device it is able to communicate. Then if you are having if you go for software updates, definitely for all the devices it will be there. Like they will pushing some updates, through that updates we are able to do that things. When we are having that updates, definitely it will be rolled out from one area to another area. For all the devices it will pushing the updates. And first we will go for advantage of the network. Through the advantage of the network we can communicate from one area to another area, to all the networks. For every type of network we are able to connect it with the speed of light. It is like communicating from one area to another area with multiple scenarios. When you go for communication, it may be the chat or instant messaging or text messaging or email, social media, video conference, any type of thing will be communication. This we call it as a communication. And the information will be transmitted from one person to another person through different types of modes. And everything will be calculated and stored in database of any type of the communication. And when we go for hardware, shared hardware will be there. Through one hardware, it will be attached to all the devices like NAS. NAS is like if we have bulk of data, it will be stored from one area to another area, and that vast data will be stored in NAS. And when you go for network printers, network printers will be communicated for group of networking users. When they give any print and with 10 users, any one of the user if they give the printer, it will be communicated through network printer. So here through network printer we can reduce the hardware, and we don't need to use for every user one of the printer like that. Most of the people will be using this in their scenarios. And after that, if you go for powerful computers or supercomputers, it will be most robotic computers where we are using with fraction of seconds all the things. And here, shared software. Shared software means software will be having some particular license. Through if you are having 100 users, in that only 10 licensed users are there. They will be shared in between the group. If one of the user is not using that software, and that license will be allocated to another user. If they want again that license, they will be returned back according to time and their usage. It will be scalability. And most of the time this network will be useful for money transferring. It will be the secure transmission and business digitally transfer between banks for UPI transactions or bank transactions, NEFT, IFTF, all these things we are using. And when you go for disadvantages of the network, disadvantages means mostly will be having virus and malwares. It may be the any type of the thing. The virus will be transmitted with image or else voice or else video or else any files, any type of PDFs, words, any type of thing. The virus may be transmitted. So it's mandatory to protect our device with antivirus. The vulnerability for every device, the vulnerability will be there. Through that vulnerability, they can hack the device and they can uh, enter malware into your device. So we need to get prepared to install antivirus for every device. In generally, right nowadays, for any mobile device or computer, so they will be giving antivirus software inbuilt. Just we need to activate and we need to keep it update, and just need to update the new rollout versions, all these things to clear the bugs. Then we go for public and private network. What is the difference between public and private network? Public network means generally we are using it in wireless. In outside, whenever you go for coffee shops or else any malls, they'll be providing the public Wi-Fi. Here, you can enter the login and password or any OTP. You can get it. You will be easily access and through Wi-Fi network, so you can connect. You don't need any physical connectivity. You just need the wireless connectivity. It may be any password or OTP. Different types of communications will be there. Some network didn't require password also. You can connect from anything just by clicking through that network. Any compatibility device is enough to connect it. Then, if you go for private networks will be used for specific group users or organizations. Most of the enterprise companies or organizations using this private network in within the particular area, they are able to connect. If you go for outside, they are not able to connect. It may be used. The secure network means home and business and education and mobile hotspot. They'll be having the some particular encryptions. Through this encryption, they are able to log in and they can use it. And these are the things they are need to do. When you go for public or private network will be the safest thing and encrypted thing and everything it is good. So today is the enough for this class. Tomorrow we'll go for another topic. Thank you.